Mark, let's come back to you. Now, was it last week? I think you were talking about Chatham House and the sudden interest in Korea, in the Korean Peninsula. Now, the event has since taken place. What happened?
Well, I was able to cover it July 2nd virtually, and it was called How Should Britain Build Influence and Impact in the Korean Peninsula? It included Colin Crooks, interesting, unfortunate surname, UK Ambassador to South Korea, Edward Howell, Korean Foundation Fellow, Karen Maddox, Head of Northeast Asia Department, Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, moderated by Simon Smith of the British Korean Society. And I took some original photos with screenshots here. There's Colin Crooks to the left, Karen Maddox in the middle, and Edward Howell to the right. I didn't happen to include Simon in that. But there is some B-roll here that we can show if you'd like, and I can just give it a very brief outline for the time we have left. Colin Crooks talked about a bilateral free trade agreement with South Korea and said that that's in the works. And he said that Russia has positioned itself as an enemy of South Korea, allegedly. South Korea, to the far east side of Russia, is geographically close, he mentioned, to Russia. And he said South Korea has a good leader in place and has constitutional clarity now, even though its previous president declared martial law fairly recently in 2024, although that president was reportedly impeached. So they believe South Korea is now stable and constitutionally sound, so it can enter into the free trade agreement with the UK and so on. Another important point is that South Korea is sort of part of a apparent UK military and diplomatic tilt, you might say, or outreach. They're basically going to make South Korea sort of an adjunct or add-on to what they're calling the arsenal of democracy for Europe. And so in a strange way, it kind of fits into the report I just made about rearming and militarizing the economy of Europe. There is that connection there. There's some other things. Colin said, the ambassador to the South Korea of the UK, Korean language is the fastest growing for study in the UK. He called that a soft power connection and said 5,000 youth go both directions from UK to South Korea and vice versa in terms of cultural relations. And British universities and schools are actively recruiting South Korean students. Karen Maddox mentioned a lot of things. One of the highlights of Karen Maddox's comments was that she doesn't believe North Korea is in with both feet in the axis with Iran, Russia, and China. She believes it's more of a transactional, opportunistic thing, and that North Korea is part of that axis only for its own benefit. And again, it's not in with both feet. That was Karen Maddox's opinion on that. A number of other things could be said. It was something of a dry discussion, but all in all, they are saying that tensions are down in the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. However, Karen Maddox said that the channels of de-escalation have declined, as has the number of embassies. So they're trying to reestablish the UK embassy in Pyongyang, but meanwhile, North Korea does have an embassy in Ealing, a adjunct or suburb of London, and the HMS Prince of Wales, a naval ship of the UK, is supposed to visit Korea sometime this summer. So that's some of the highlights, guys, but they're trying to bring Korea in as sort of a distant adjunct of free trade and some of the military activities and related matters. I'm sure that there'll be more on this as time goes by, and we can refer back to this Chatham House meeting from July 2nd. So that should suffice for now, guys.
Thank you, Mark.
Looks like a barrel of laughs there at the
Chatham House
Memorial Institute there. Global Britain's back, Mike.
Global Britain's back.
Global Britain's extending the empire.
I will be shocked if the HMS Prince of Wales makes it to Korea, but we'll see. We'll see how
they have to go through warm water to get there, so it might be some engine trouble, perhaps.
Yes. Well, look, we've got to leave it there for today. I'm going to say thank you very much to Mark and Patrick, and a special thanks to Wilsey from Resistance GB. And we'll let everybody know what happens at that High Court hearing if we here before the end of Extra. If you're not a UK Column member, please consider joining, because you can join us in a few minutes for Extra on this live stream. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and we'll see you at 1 p.m. as usual on Monday. See you then. Bye-bye.